What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Elizabeth Wanzi. I own a wedding photography business. I've been doing wedding photography for almost 7 years now. And I also have a coaching education business for photographers where I teach them how to not only get booked out, but get booked out with premium prices that feel really amazing to them, so that they can run a sustainable wedding photography business and still have time for their family and all the things that they love. Before we get started, I know you're here to learn how I charge $7,000 to $9,000 for weddings. I'm going to specifically talk about how to charge around $5,000 to $9,000 for weddings, how to get into that specific price point. Hit that like button and also give me a follow. I love the support, and curious, leave a comment below. What are you currently charging for your wedding photography business? Everyone's sort of all over their place with their prices, and it's always so cool to see like where somebody's at, and especially if they're in the beginning of their business, when they grow, when they learn the right information to start booking a little bit higher. So I have my trusty calculator here. I'm going to use that as I walk you through some of the tips, okay? So the very first thing that you want to do is you want to not tell yourself that booking luxury prices or premium prices for weddings is not possible. You have to decide before anything else that being able to charge those prices is possible for you. Here's why it's possible for you. It's possible for you because there are tons of photographers who are already charging that. There are tons of photographers whose portfolio isn't as good as the best in the world, and they're already charging $5,000. They're already booking $9,000 jobs. So first and foremost, decide that this is for you. You just need to learn how to be able to charge that much. And it's not easy, but it is simple. Okay, so I believe growing your business is never easy. It's hard, it takes hard work, but it's not complicated, it's not difficult. It's very simple. All right, now this is what I teach inside my program, Roadmap to Booked. I'll link that below if you guys are interested in joining. The first thing that you're gonna wanna do before you do anything else is you wanna cast a vision for your business, okay? You wanna write out your annual income goal. What does that look like to you? I'm going to give you an example in just a moment, but why is that important? It's important because when you don't know your numbers, you don't know what number you're going for, you have nothing to reach, okay? There's no way of measuring the success in your business if you don't even know where you're going. So the very first thing after you decide that this is for you, you decide that you are going to make it into that sort of premium price range, is you're just going to sit down and you're going to write down your numbers. How much do you want to make in this next 12 months? You don't have to start on January. You don't have to wait till January to start. You can start right now. Get out a pen and paper and say, okay, how much do I want to make in my photography business this next 12 months? Okay? There's no wrong answer. There's no right answer. It's whatever you feel like you need to make in the next 12 months to make you feel like your photography business is successful, okay? The second thing that I want you to do is I want you to decide how many weddings you are willing to photograph within these next 12 months. So for me, for example, I only photograph 10 weddings a year. Obviously that's because at this point I'm charging a higher price point, but it's also because I just am not willing to do 20 weddings a year. They're pretty grueling. My customer experience is like very luxury. I put a lot into each of our clients, and so just so that we don't water that down, I make sure that we only accept 10 a year. Now, you can choose 10, you can choose 15, you can choose 20, you can choose 40. Whatever it is, write that number down. How many weddings are you willing to take in the next 12 months? All right. Now, I'm going to give you an example of how much you should charge sort of based on this, okay? So, say for example, you want to make $30,000 in the next 12 months. Let's say you just started. Let's say this is still your side hustle. let's say maybe you're not really feeling like you can go super full-time with this just yet. So you want to be on the really cautious side, and you want to say that in the next 12 months, you'd be happy walking away with 30,000 extra dollars from your photography business, okay? And let's say that your number of weddings that you were willing to photograph this year was 20 weddings this year, all right? All you're gonna do, and feel free to pause this if you wanna do this on your calculator, but all you're gonna do is you're gonna take your annual income goal, you're gonna divide that by the number of weddings that you're willing to take this year in the next 12 months, and for $30,000 divided by 20 weddings, that's going to give you a cost of $1,500 per wedding, okay? I could tell you right now, it's very easy to get booked out with $1,500 weddings. That is like a very, very, very cheap rate for weddings. If you're just starting out, literally just starting out, that's typically what I recommend people charge, is like $1,000 to $1,500. But stick with me here because I'm going to show you how easy it is to then continue to grow your business to get to that $5,000 price point, okay? So you're like, okay, this is just an example, by the way. I'm charging $1,500 per wedding, and now every few weddings that you do, I want you to raise your price, all right? So there's a couple ways to do this. I'm going to give you what I recommend, and then I'll also tell you what has been recommended by other people. You could choose the way that you want to go. What I recommend is every 3 weddings, 2 to 3 weddings, to raise your prices about $300. So the reason that I recommend this is it's a price increase, obviously, so you're not staying stuck in whatever your prices are for the current season, but also it's a small enough increase so that if somebody from the wedding that you just did refers you to somebody who is their friend, your prices aren't going to be double what you just did, and they aren't going to be like, wait a minute, so Bob just told me that, you know, they hired you for $1,500 or $3,000 or whatever it may be, and now you're charging $7,000 and I can't afford you. Okay, so you're still raising your prices. It's a comfortable enough increase where you feel like it's comfortable, it's still possible for me, and it's still including the people who might be referred to you from the weddings you just did, because you just did a phenomenal job and your client experience was great and your photographs were great, right? Now, every single time you raise your prices, so say every 3 weddings, you go from $1,500 to $1,800 to, $2,100 to, and so on and so on and so on. Very quickly, you're going to realize that you are getting closer and closer and closer to that $5,000 number. So within 20 weddings, let's see, 20 divided by 3, you'd be very close to hitting, I want to say, the upper 3,000s within that first year, okay? The next year is when you would hit that $5,000 price point. And remember, you've done it all in a way that feels comfortable, okay? You've done it all in a way where you're slowly increasing your prices so that you're not leaving any referrals in the dust, right? So that they can still come in and book you at a price point that was close to what their friends paid that referred you. So within the second year, it's very easy to get into that $5,000 price point. But here's what I will say. You can't go from $1,500 one year to $5,000 the next year and not continue to improve your processes, your client experiences, and just your service in general. So here's what I mean. The way that you show up for a $1,500 wedding is most likely going to be very different than the way that you show up for a $5,000 wedding, just because within that entire year or 2, you're learning so much more and adding to your client experience through what you learn. So maybe with your $1,500 wedding, you can only afford to send them like a thank you card in the mail. But maybe with your $3,000 wedding, when you've worked up to that, you're now sending them like a custom gift thank you box with like all of this amazing stuff. And then as you up your prices and you get to like $4,500, you're now sending them, a custom, gift thank you box, but then you're also sending them like something in the mail after to say thank you. Okay, so just remember, every time you up your prices, and it doesn't have to be something you purchase either, but every time you up your prices, every time you go up 300, 600, 900, 1200, that you're also adding to that customer experience, because in order to be charging more, your service needs to also match that, okay? I'm a big proponent of over delivering anyways, so as much as you can make your service as awesome as possible without losing out on a ton of money when you're starting at the 3,000 or you're starting at the 1,500, wherever you're at, do it, okay? But make sure that you're continuing to go, how can I make this photography business better? How can I wow my clients even more? How can I over deliver on everything that I said I was gonna give them, but they didn't know they were gonna get, so that they're like, holy crap, like, oh, you're getting married? Okay, you need to work with Elizabeth Wanzi Photography. She's amazing because she did all of these things that I didn't expect, and she made my wedding day like so seamless and fun, and she's just like a really great person to work with. You want them to say the same things about you, so that not only are you raising your prices, your experience matches the prices that you're raising, and the clients are so happy to pay your price because your experience is top notch. Now, I will end this because I did say that I was going to give you another perspective that sometimes I see people doing. There are people who jump prices substantially. So I've seen people be like, okay, well, I'm at 3,000 and I'm just going to bump up to 5. Like, I don't even want to deal with the in between. You can do that. You are going to see a significant drop in bookings because you're going from $3,000 to $5,000. Or you're going from $1,500 to $3,800. Just know that you're probably for a few months going to see a significant drop in bookings, because the $1,500 client is very different than someone who's going to pay $3,800, who is very different than someone who's willing to pay $5,000 plus. And because you're not, slowly 300, increase, 300 increase, and learning about that client as you go, just expect to have crickets for a while. Now, if you're okay with that and you're okay with testing and all of that stuff and not getting bookings for a while, feel free. I don't recommend it simply because I feel like the slower price increases is just the easier, more comfortable way to go, and so you can consistently book clients and retain any referrals that they send. But it's your business. You get to design your business the way you want. And I have found that with working with photographers, either way works. It's just your level of risk, okay? With that being said, that is how you can easily get to start charging $5,000 to $9,000 per wedding. It's through slowly increasing your rates, and it's through slowly increasing and adding to that customer client experience. Now, if you would like to learn the step-by-steps and all of the templates, and you would like my personal coaching, I do have a group program, and it's called Roadmap to Booked, linked below. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up and feel free to follow. I'm going to be following up with tips for your wedding photography business and just how to really grow it so that you can have a business that you're running with ease and still have time for the things you love and your family and all of that stuff. All right, thank you guys for signing in, and I will see you soon. Bye.